Good day. We are going to discuss for today the schedule of activities in relation to the welcome PowerPoint given to you last time and our code so that it will be easier for you to remember. The schedule of activities will be patterned after FAR, no? Find the first letter of our subject matter. Okay, so what are our activities during week 1 to week 4? These are all F. You have your first view. You had your material with welcome and the overview, the holistic view of our subject matter, and you were given the link on the standards as part of our material. Now, this will be your task during week 1. And in week 2, that will be related to the functions of accounting using the 5 Ws and the TIPOS approach. No, your what, why, when, where, and why. Okay, so how about your TIPOS? That would be your tools, input, process, output, and storage. During the third week, you had your video in accounting elements, in accounting definition, and accounting equation. These are all related to framework. And by next week, your focus will be on the first function, and that will be recording. And you will be taught on transaction analysis to facilitate journalizing as a process and for us to be able to prepare the journal entry. What are we going to do in week 5? You are going to focus on the function of classifying, and that is posting and trial balance. And in week 6, you will do the function of summarizing, practicing on financial statements preparation for you to have the skill, applying all the knowledge that you acquire from week 1 to week 5. Then in week 7, now we have already the A, no? Your adjustments. Now, this is quite a challenging topic, so we need to start anew. And in week 8, we need to complete the cycle for the service type, wherein you are going to tackle about closing entries and post-closing trial balance. How about with week 9 to 11? We started with A with adjustments, and in week 9 up to week 10, that is still related to the accounting cycle, but in this particular period of time, you will focus on merchandising and how it differs with the set of books as well as the journal entries and the financial statements that you have to prepare. Then the last week, week 11, that's your R, because your code in your schedule of activities is far. That would be a review, a wrap up of everything that we'll discuss in relation to functions, financial statements, and the forms of business. Now, what will be the coverage of your exam? In term 1, these are the topics that we discuss from weeks 1 to 5, and in term 2, this will be from weeks 6 to 10. Now, since there are quite a lot of things that we need to cover from weeks 1 to 11, now what will be the approach that we need to use for you to learn the concept, no? Let me remind you of the 5 Ws, no? And the TIPOS, focusing on the function. And to maximize your learning, for you to be efficient, because the 5 Ws and the TIPOS is for effectiveness. And for efficiency, no? That would be making use of all your senses, no? That would be our 5 steps rule. You need to listen well with all our recording. You need to watch well, no? Our video. And of course, you have to make use of your heart, diba? Kasi that's why you have your 3H. You need to have the passion for you to be able to be motivated, okay? Uh, so all your senses has to be utilized for you to be efficient, diba? You have five senses. So let's take a look. First one, you have to listen. Then for you to maximize learning, you have to find the time to rest, stop. Why? Because there is a need for you to reflect and review, not the concept. And uh, when you review, you would be able to determine what are the things you have questions. So you have to retool and act on what you don't know, and things that you do understand, you have to retain that you think would be very important with our subject matter, and you have to do it on a regular basis. And how can you review? By assessing. How can you retool? By adapting. And how can you retain? By trying your best to absorb, no? Kasi sabi nga ni Albert Einstein, everything should be made as simple as possible, no? But not simpler, because we cannot shortchange you in your learnings. So, ano na yung 3H nung diniscuss natin nung week 1? Ano yan? The head, the heart, and the hand. Pag inirelate mo yan sa accounting, your head will talk about think. Kasi yun yung gagamitin mo pag-assess. Yung passion, yung imagine, ang dami mong ika-count, ang dami mong dapat natutunan. You need to learn to adapt kasi you cannot act on it if you cannot adapt, diba? And action is trying your best to do everything for you to be able to learn all that we are going to take up in FAR. So, ano na uli yung FAR? Ito yung approach talaga natin sa subject eh. Focus, focus, focus. And how can you focus? Listen well. No? And find time to rest. Because it's the only way for you to be able to have the strength to assess, to adapt, and absorb everything when we are reflecting with the topics that we discuss, for you to be able to retool and retain. So, paano ba kayo, ano yung way natin para makapag-reflect, makapag-review sa subject matter? At the end of our discussion, you are presented with the takeaway, diba? Sa araw-araw na buhay natin, ano ba yung takeaway? Ano yung F word na tinitake away natin? Pag sinabing takeaway, sa food yun, diba? So, you are given food for thought. And with us, that would be CAP. Ma'am, ano yun ay CAP? That would be the concepts, assumptions, and the principle. This would give you the knowledge. No? Nasa ano yan? T, takeaway. So, that would be think. Diba? That would be think when you talk about concept, assumptions, and principle. Now, you have to apply that. And how can you apply that? You are going to apply that by when you are going to prepare the financial statement, and you are going to give feedback. Kasi we in any relationship, it should be give and take. So, if you have any question, you need to tell us. And what's your way for us to be informed of any questions that you have with the concept, assumptions, and the principle. In our class, you are going to prepare the learning journal. Kasi by telling us what you learn, at least we know already what knowledge you have. And by giving us the challenges, then we would know how to approach the subject matter para ma-address namin yung concern nyo. Tapos whatever you thought of, this would tell us what is effective at your end na in terms of the processes that we undertake in the subject matter. And at the same time, you'd be able to give us information on how to improve our processes. Diba? Then, the way for us to retool, as let me remind, is you really have to give feedback for you to be able to adapt with the challenges. Then the last R would be retain. Now, how can we retain? If everything that we discussed previously of the approaches is relating to knowledge, syempre importante yung skill. Kung ang knowledge ay sa head, ang skill saan yan? heart and hand. How can you have the hand? The hand is application. It's the A word. And how can you learn how to apply? You need to ask when you don't know anything. In our subject matter, that would be, yeah, you are going to do different activities, you will have assignment, quizzes, diba? Yun. You'll do an oral presentation, and you would even prepare a term paper at the end of the, which is to be submitted at the end of the semester. And so that's with regards to retain. You have to absorb uh, what had been discussed for you to have the knowledge and for you to be able to apply it, no, and have skills at the end of the term. Now, yung knowledge natin, let me remind, is your concept, application, assumptions, and principle, because you're targeting to be certified public accountant and certified management accountant. And how can we be certified public accountant? What should we have? You need to be critical thinkers, you have to persevere, and you need to have the right attitude. And if you are a certified management accountant, still you have to be critical thinkers and be motivated for you to persevere, no? And attitude is very important in anything that you do, kasi you would not have the passion to absorb it kung and to do it kung ala ka naman sa yung pag-uugali mo naman ay hindi tama, 'di ba? So, I hope that you will always smile. Sabi nga natin, pag smile, our face will always lit up, 'di ba? And uh, sabi nga natin, ang code natin sa smile, uh, try our best to shine, because that's where we find our happy pill for us to be motivated individual and be able to inspire others, lead others as well as ourselves, for us to excel, no, at the end. Okay, so I hope that you will learn something from today with what we have discussed for our activities for the whole semester. Thank you.